Hey guys, what would you do if you woke up one morning and you're just scrolling through social media? As the old folks say, you're scrolling through the Facebook and you see a post from your job telling employees to come by the office, come by the facility to pack up and gather your things because they are closing effective immediately. Sounds like that wouldn't happen. It sounds like something made up, sounds rude. That wouldn't happen, not here in America. Well, honey, it is happening. Companies are closing every day and they are not giving notice. 45 companies have had 4,500 companies have had layoffs this year. A couple of weeks ago, Pepsi abruptly closed 3 facilities, laying off hundreds of employees without any notice. And now another company has done the same thing. Excuse me. By the way, I'm Shantae Charles, and I teach moms how to break the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck by teaching them how to generate income outside of their jobs and teaching them how to master money management. So let's get right into it. I'm going to play you a clip. I'm going to play you a clip of this company that notified their employees via Facebook that they were closing. And mind you, this is after they took government money. I mean, that's a lot of nerve. After they took government money, they still closed the facility abruptly.
Good evening. I'm Leah Lando live tonight. We are in the town of Tonawanda in front of the Sumitomo rubber plant. 1,500 employees who work here learned today suddenly that this plant is shutting down. They're without a job. We spoke with so many of them. They say they learned on social media in many cases. Posts in a Facebook group prompted workers to come by the plant this morning. That's when they were met with security officers in tactical gear blocking the entrance hours after many employees learned about the closure. Sumitomo emailed.
Now, first of all, not only did they, and I'm not laughing because it's funny, I'm laughing because it's sad. It's sad. And I'm one of those people that, you know how some people laugh when it's like something goes wrong or nervous energy or what have you. But I'm not laughing because it's funny. It is quite sad. But when I first saw this story, I'm like, well, first of all, who do you guys have working here that you felt like when you laid off people that you not only needed security, but you also needed them to have on tactical gear. First of all, they knew they were wrong. They knew they were wrong, and that's why they had security with tactical gear because they knew that some people, you tell somebody via Facebook, I'm laid off and effective immediately. You just you don't do people that way. They were thinking, somebody might come up here and cut the food. And I'm not saying people should react with violence, but right before the holidays, no notice via Facebook, they knew, okay, we better have security because somebody might come up here and cut the food, so we're gonna need a little backup. And like what kind of people do you have working for you that you feel like, you know what? They might come up in here and set it off. And I don't mean like come up in there and go up in there and shoot up the place. I mean like turn some things over, be upset, even slap a couple people because you put in all these years and dedication and this how you repay this how you repay me by telling me on Facebook, and then when I get to the building, you have security and tactical gear. Like, come on.
staff at 12:15 p.m. Now, 7 News has obtained that message. It says in part this decision was not made lightly. We understand the significant impact it has on each of you and your families. Of course, this is a major blow to so many, to workers, to this community, to their family. This company, which has been here for more than a century, it was back in 1920. Crews broke ground on this facility to house Dunlop Tire's first U.S. plant. Sumitomo became the sole owner of in 2015. And just 2 years ago, your tax dollars, they were used for a $122 million investment into this facility. At the time, Sumitomo said it would help answer increased tire demand driven by strong SUV that is, and light truck sales in North America. So clearly a lot of
I
history
want to
here, a
play
lot of
that back.
livelihoods impact.
She said
Tire
they
demand
got
driven by strong SUV that
$122 million.
is, and light truck sales in North America. So clearly a lot of history here, a lot of livelihoods impacted. And we also want to mention $1 million investment
Wait a minute.
2 years ago. Your tax dollars, they were used for a $122 million investment.
So they gave them taxpayer money, $122 million, not even 5 years ago, 2 years ago, and now they're closing down the facility. That's just wrong.
Into this facility. At the time, Sumitomo said it would help answer increased tire demand driven by strong SUV that is, and light truck sales in North America. So clearly a lot of history here, a lot of livelihoods impacted. And we also want to mention an important note. The company did not issue a warn notice until after the news broke, which they're required to do. And joining me now, Eileen Buckley, and she also spoke with some employees here.
So the Warren Notice is a law. Um, I believe it's called the Warren Act. So it basically means that an employer that has over 75 employees, they have to give, I believe it's at least a 60-day notice that they are going to be closing or shutting down operations. Apparently, this company don't care because they know that. They know that. They're going to pay the fine if they're fined and go about their business. They don't care about the Warren Act. They don't care about their employees. They're just going to do what they're going to do, which is close that facility.
Shocked by this news, learning on social media, holding on to some hope, though, that maybe this plant can be saved. Eileen, what they say?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Leah, what I'm learning is that there is a possible bipartisan effort from both sides of the aisle among federal, state, and local leaders.
And we're going to fight like hell.
State Assemblyman Bill Conrad telling me there was no warning of the immediate shutdown of Sumitomo Rubber in the town of Tonawanda, a facility that makes tires for cars, trucks, buses, and motorcycles.
They're no nonsense. There's no drama. They just made a decision by the board of directors in Japan, and they pulled the plug.
The company saying in a statement the closing comes after an extended examination of the viability of the facility. It cites mounting costs, and even with changes it made over the last several years, it did not help with mounting financial losses. Workers I spoke with don't believe it.
I blame it on the dumping of tires into this country from Thailand and China. And there's no tariffs put on them, making ours more costly to produce in the long term.
Gary Pelletier has been working at the plant for 29 years. He says there was no warning. Workers say they were notified the plant would close this week because they had to reduce a high level of inventory, but would reopen Monday.
No.
So they lied. Woo, that's dirty work. That is dirty work. They lied, said they were closing, making it seem like they were going to be closing temporarily. They're going to return to work on Monday. Didn't return to work, returned to security at the gate.
Clue that this was coming.
Employee Eric Dutchman also didn't buy the inventory shutdown.
It seemed fishy at the time a little bit, but we've had a lot of inventory in the warehouse, more than normal.
The idea that this plant management based in Japan would send over 1,000 workers home, 1,200 workers home, with a promise of coming back to work, and then overnight snap their fingers on a chalkboard or on a piece of paper like we're some sort of statistic here in Western New York and say, forget it, you're not coming back to work?
Yeah, that's just nasty. That's just ridiculous that they would even they would even do that, but it's not it's not surprising. And if we think that these companies care about us, care about our financial security, if anyone is thinking that, you better get a clue and get a clue really quick, fast, and in a hurry because they really don't. I mean, it's wrong, it's nasty that they would do that, but this is the time that we're living in. It's the time that we're living in. And the saddest part is that the guy said he knew, um, he felt like something, it seemed like something wasn't right. I don't know. Did you not know how to read the environment? Did you just keep going along with going? People are so don't want to change. You get so stuck in the same thing that even when you see a fire coming, they just stay and watch. You wait till it hops the line and burn up your stuff. Okay, do something to put out the financial fire that is coming to your home. Did you start looking for a new job? Okay, in addition, start thinking about what can you do in addition to having a job. Get a side hustle, turn that side hustle into your main hustle eventually. But we cannot depend on just one source of income. It is not good. And anybody in this day and age that has just one source of income and you don't want to get another source of income that is not attached to a job, something has to seriously be wrong with you. Something has to seriously be wrong with you because there is no loyalty from these jobs. There's absolutely no loyalty. So I want to encourage you that if you are in consumer debt, because most Americans, let's just face it, most Americans, we're in consumer debt and we're living paycheck to paycheck. We're living paycheck to paycheck and we're in consumer debt. It's just the American way. It's just the American way for whatever reason. But I want to encourage you to get out of debt because you never know what is going to happen. You can go to work today, think everything is going to be okay, and then get a notice via Facebook that the company is closed. You go up there to find out what's going on, and you're met with security. Not just Bob, the regular security guard, but security with tactical equipment on. I mean, what kind of what in the I mean, who does that? Who does that? Who does that? So I want to encourage you to get another source of income outside of your job. I'm telling you. Now, senior care is a multi-billion dollar industry. People get older every day, and unfortunately, most people, when they get older, they are going to need help with activities of daily living to help them remain independent and out of the nursing home. Now, the good news about that, if you want to say it's good news, is that you can help them remain independent and out of the nursing home, and the government will help you, will pay you to do so. How? By starting a non medical in home care agency. Non medical in home care agency is a multi billion-dollar industry, and senior care is a multi billion-dollar industry, and you can get a piece of the pie by starting your non medical in home care agency. Now, if you want more information on the profitability of starting a non medical in home care agency, go over to my website, charlesbusinessacademy.com. Check out my free webinar, Home Care 101, and it's going to give you details on the profitability of starting your own non medical in home care agency. And even if you don't have a desire to start a non medical in home care agency, that may not be for you. But I implore you to get a desire to do something to generate income outside of your job. Until next time, be blessed and a prosperous future to you.